Hello everyone. So I just want to talk about the recent case in Ballyconnor. You've probably seen it on my community post. If not, then I'll let you know in a second. But just two things, just to give a bit of clarification, I suppose, just to give the groundwork here before I start talking about it. So everybody knows that Ireland has the worst in the European Union in terms of human trafficking. I know some people will be shocked by that. It is the truth. Because I don't think we are up to date with this human trafficking. I think we're trying to shimmy, the Irish authorities is trying to shimmy around and pretend it doesn't exist, and that's basically the attitude the Irish authorities have. But it does exist, and again, human trafficking does exist, particularly of young women, young vulnerable women from Brazil, from other countries coming to Ireland for the express purpose. Some of them against their will, some of them unknowingly until they turn up for prostitution and the sex trade, I suppose you would call it, sex trafficking, I would say. And we have to put a stop to it, particularly in rural Ireland. It's out of control at some stages. In Cavan at the moment, there was a man arrested from Brazil. He's a non-Irish citizen. He's been arrested for 9 years. He was the head boy over this brothel, and it's to do with brothels too. But thankfully he was arrested for 9 years. But after his 9 years is finished, he should be sent home and told never to come back along with his friends. Never to come back. They should never be allowed. Should have never been allowed in here in the first place. But huge, trafficked loads of women from Brazil over to Ireland. It's extreme, as I say, it's modern day slavery. It quite literally is. And again, this is happening in Ireland. This is not happening in the backwoods country in Africa or wherever. It's happening in Ireland in 2025. And unfortunately, this has been happening the last 10 years. It's been happening really much non-stop. And the attitude of the authorities, as I said before, is pretty much ignored, pretend it doesn't exist. And there's many problems here because of it. As many people say, it's because we're far too lenient. We're far too lenient on these people, not the women. Now, don't get me wrong. We shouldn't be prosecuting the women who are forcibly came here against their will. We shouldn't be doing that. But the people at the top, the people who are forcing them, we should be dealing with them very harshly. And as simple as that, because we have to put a stop to it. We have to put a stop to it in our country. We can't be allowing this to be happening in our country. No country should allow it. And I do welcome the Gardaí done something in Ballyconnor. Now, there is some others in Cavan we have to deal with. We should be going, the Gardaí should be dealing with it straight away. But I don't know why, again, this is the attitude that they'll take a long time to do something about it. So I would really suggest, my suggestion is that we send the military police in to deal with it. Because they'd be a lot more tougher and extreme, and they should be. Because that's really the moment in time what we need to call in to deal with this situation across some parts of rural Ireland. In Cavan, we need the military police. I think it's nonsensical that we're sending the Gardaí. We should be sending the military police to deal with it, to be totally honest. Because it's that severe that we need to kind of send in the army to deal with it, to be totally honest. To put a stop to a lot of these criminal organisations. But the other way we deal with it too is, as I say, just the military. In terms of the military, is policing our shores, policing our airports. We should have, there's only one whole ship in the whole country on patrol at the moment across the whole high seas of the country. And what I mean by that is only one naval ship out operating in the Irish waters. We should have more. We should be stopping boats and checking. Because what's happening at the moment is mother ships coming in, big container ships, stopping off the shores of Ireland, dropping off drugs, dropping off people to be trafficked. And that's what's happening in a lot of cases. They're coming in on big boats and off the shores, and they're coming in on small boats, pretty much what you see in England, going into the English Channel. That's what's happening in a lot of cases. And some of them have been trafficked through our airports. And we have to be more severe in terms of checking people at the airports. We have to be more severe. We have to ask a lot more questions. Because at the moment in time in this country, you just kind of look at the passport. You don't check and see did they have a record. We've seen recently a man came in from England. He was banned from England. He was told to get away from England. Go away, we will watch you. After committing serious sexual offences here. And he was turned up 5 minutes. He committed sexual offence here. And nobody bothered to check at Dublin Airport or any of the ports how this man got in. Because he was banned from England. Nobody bothered to check why he was banned. His background. Nobody bothered to check it. And he was allowed into the country. Again, this shouldn't have happened. If the basic background was done, the basic check before even was given the green stamp. We have to be strict. We nearly have to be as strict as Australia in terms of our borders, in terms of policing the border, in terms of our airports and our ports. I know the Northern Ireland problem would be a bit more difficult to police, but it does need to be done. We can do random checkpoints on the border if we wanted to. Not a physical infrastructure, but do random checkpoints. It'd be more vicious in terms of asking questions and stuff, not just going and checking people's passports. Ask tough questions, because again, a lot of them are coming in on false pretenses. But again, we have to deal with it. We have to do, and that's one of the things with a laxy border policy that we have and a laxy immigration system, that these things happen. Because if we were tough, this wouldn't happen. Simple as that, because they would not want to go. I'm sure we looked at Australia at the moment, this kind of carry on doesn't happen. Simple as that, it doesn't happen. Because the Australian government are very tough in terms of who gets into the country, and so widely, so is their country. And that's how it stops it. I'm sure if anybody was caught doing it, they'd be going to prison for a very, very long time. Or they'd be sent to their home country to be dealt with. But we have to be tough. We really, really have to be tough on it, because it is modern day slavery, and we have to put an end to it, one way or the other. But I do welcome that Nagarn and Sinn Conor done something to this circumstance. We do have to be more vicious in terms of getting these people and stopping that. I'm talking about the people at the top, not the women that have been trafficked, because again, they've been trafficked against them, with some of them unknowingly, and they were threats and intimidation against them. And we don't hold that, because pretty much they were threatened into doing that intimidation. And that's what's happening in this case, and in many cases across the country, and particularly rural Ireland. But we need to stop it. We need to stop it. We need to do something about it, because it's gone on for far too long. It's pretty much become an epidemic in a lot of parts of the country, in rural Ireland, as I say. And the only way to stop it is by force, is sending in the army to disband it by force. Because that's the only way to do it. That's the only language they understand, is by force, these people at the top. But anyway, let me know what you think. I know many people probably have seen the experiences in rural Ireland particularly. And it's something that's not discussed enough, I think. It's not discussed enough at all. Because, again, the Irish establishment pretended it doesn't exist. And again, pretending that it doesn't exist, it's not helping anybody. It's not helping these women. It's not helping society. It's not helping anybody. Because pretending that it doesn't exist and trying not to acknowledge the elephant in the room is not making it better. It's making it worse, because you're pretty much giving these people saying that the Irish authorities to do nothing. So at least now we have something to show. The Irish authorities have something to show that we are taking it serious, that we are trying to do something. Because before it was just pretending it doesn't exist, and that didn't work out well. But anyway, let me know if you take, subscribe more, and bye.